Dearly beloved, we have gathered here today to get through this thing called life. Life, L.Y.F. Love yourself first. And I'm here with actor, author, podcast host, veteran, entrepreneur, and my favorite line, your favorite comedian's favorite comedian, Delay. I wish I had a clap track.
What's up, Cole? How you doing? How you doing?
I'm good, boo. How are you?
You know, I'm glad you asked. You know, it's been a long time since we've been face to face.
Yes.
So it's only befitting that we just, we utilize this space right now until we become face to face again. I'm doing good. Doing good.
That's good. I feel like you're avoiding me every time you're in town. It's like
I know.
You're busy doing this.
Listen,
and then I was in town and you're like,
exactly.
I'm leaving.
It happened every time I come to Florida. You're like, you know what? I'm in Australia. I'm like, God damn, Australia?
I wish.
I'm in Australia. I got a new little project that I'm working on. I can't be here right now, so I'm in Australia. I'm like, okay, well, you get your worldwide on.
Man, I wish that was the case, man. Australia is actually number one on my bucket list, to be honest with you. Have you been? No?
I have not.
Well, just about everything there would kill you, but I still want to go. The bugs, the animals, everything's going to kill you. So, how did you get started into comedy?
Well, it was just kind of coincidental how it happened, dealing blackjack. And from being a blackjack dealer, I was one that talked a lot of shit. So it just kind of went hand in hand with comedy, but I didn't know it until somebody saw it and said, hey man, you should actually be doing comedy. And I heard it, and sometimes you don't hear it and then move on it right away. So I heard it again like 6 months later, hey man, you should be doing comedy. And then I just tried it. I just gave it a shot. You know what I mean? I've never been one that was kind of like, afraid to make the effort. Like some people are afraid to make the effort. It's okay to be afraid, but to take action behind is a whole nother step. And a lot of people miss that step. Be scared in the beginning, but then when it's time to make that step, be open and be available to take that step, because on the other side of that step is your success. That's just what I believe.
So I saw somewhere that you used to be shy. And it's very hard to believe. Like, I've known you since I've moved to Florida. So that's been about 6, almost 7 years now.
Yeah, and almost 10 years. Almost 10 years.
Yeah,
it's about 10 years.
No, I moved here like 6 or 7 years ago. I moved here in like December 2014.
Round it up. Just go ahead and round it up. If it's anything over 6, just go ahead and.
You just want to know me that long. You love me.
It's about 10 years, yeah.
So like knowing you that long and interacting with you online, interacting with you in person, it's hard for me to fathom that you were ever shy. How exactly do you get out of
that? In my case, heartbreak. Heartbreak will get you over some things. And I was shy and I was always, quiet and kind of kept to myself. But I would talk around my family and people that knew me. But amongst people in public, I was like quiet. I wouldn't even smile. I was ashamed of my gap. And my 9th grade year, when she broke my heart, Quan, her name was Quan.
Oh, you put her on blast and everything.
Because let me tell you what heartbreak does. It gives you for the first time in my life I don't give a damn. It don't matter. Like whatever's going on right now, nothing matters. Mm-hmm. And at that point, it was like, I'm going to smile. I don't care if you look at this gap. I'm going to talk to people. I'm going to, you know what I mean? Because I don't want to feel that. Let me try to do something opposite of that. Mm-hmm. Or let me try to do something opposite of what I've been doing. So yes, I was absolutely a shy guy.
Wow. And, a lot of people that I know, they're completely opposite of that. It's like if they were once really outgoing, they kind of like get into their shell. So it's amazing that you were able to do opposite of what I feel most people do. Like, yeah. I don't want to mess with nobody anymore because of this one person, And
let me tell you something. I'm not going to let one human being stop me from messing with human beings. Mm-hmm. That's just, I'm not going to do that. Just because I had a bad experience with Cola Jr., don't mean that all light-skinned, beautiful chicks with long hair, I'm going to have a problem with. You know what I mean? I'm not going to categorize everybody based on one hurt. That's what I think a lot of people do. You categorize the masses based on one experience with a person. And I don't do that. I don't do that at all.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm not going to take away from the fact that you call me beautiful.
Girl, you better
So,
stop. You know you pretty.
oh, I love
You know,
you.
pretty girls always act like it's their first time hearing it. Oh
It's
my
not
gosh,
that,
thank you.
it's
Thank
not that,
you.
but it's always nice to hear again, like,
Okay.
to somebody else, I might look like a troll. And it's happened to me before, somebody looks at you and like, yeah, no, mm-mm,
Beauty is subjective, just like a
exactly.
lot of other things. If a dude can't look at you and be like, hey man, she bad.
Hmm.
There's some shit you don't even have to have a second opinion on. It's like, that's what that is.
Hmm.
Look at this damn woman. Look at her. Look at her
Look at
face.
her.
Look at her.
Look at her.
Look at her. Let me tell you,
Look, take it in. Take it in. Oh,
fan.
did I
Just
lose you again?
nope. I got you now. I got you.
Okay.
This is what I want to see you do at some point in our career. I want to see you face to face. I want to see you stand in front of a fan. But like I don't want, I'm a recorder, but I don't want people to see the fan. And I just want to see your hair like blow into the like, you
Yes.
remember you remember Rose on
No.
Titanic when she's still
Oh,
on
yeah,
you,
yeah.
you know Rose, everybody know Rose.
Yeah.
Ruined that damn man life. But go ahead.
We're going to have a Titanic moment. I love it.
Yes.
Hopefully the ship doesn't go down after that, though.
I hope not. I hope not.
So when I met you on Bill Bellamy's Ladies Night Out tour.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so, and you got in contact with him through Who's Got Jokes, right? The show Who's Got
That's right.
Jokes, right?
Yep.
So is there any advice that he's given you or anything that you observed from him that, has you kind of emulated in your career or
Yeah,
you've
man.
taken
Bill is a
from?
solid guy. I consider him my big brother.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and being around him, it was just, it's not one of those things where he sits down and he gives you a lesson. That's not how I've learned a lot of stuff in my life. It's just for me being able to go through the experiences and to see how he conducts himself on the road as a professional. Because people think it's just, oh, you just go tell the jokes and then no, it's a whole event. You got to wake up in the morning, you got to go to radio, you got to do press, TV, and radio.
Mm-hmm.
And if you've been out, the night before, you probably had an after party. So you got to get up early in the morning, 5 in the morning, headed to radio, finish radio, headed to TV. So people just think, just see one side of it, you've been on stage, but they don't realize the business part of it and the marketing aspect of it. And, me being able to sit and watch him be the ultimate professional each week, each time that he took me out, it was something that I said, you know what, this is exactly what I'm going to adapt in my career. So it's good to have that because a lot of comedians, you don't know, like you get on the road and you just got a $5 million deal and you don't know how to conduct yourself on the road. You're not going to last on the road then.
All right.
You know what I mean? You don't know how to protect yourself. You don't know how to protect your image, all these different things.
Mm-hmm.
So it was a learning tool, and you never stop learning in comedy.
Mm. And one thing I can say from observing you, Jay Reed, Bill Bellamy, you guys are extremely personable also, because I've been on your lives several times on Instagram and like it's like whoever you touch, you remember in some kind of way. I hear you saying, oh, I remember you from, wherever. And,
Right.
oh, look into this person's profile because they have this and that going on. Like you're the ultimate, I don't know, personable person. And it's amazing to me because I can't remember half of the people that I know, like I've traveled around a lot and I've been in situations where somebody would approach me and say, oh, hey, what's up, Cola? And I'm like, hey, how
Right.
you doing? Like I don't remember where I know them from. I don't remember their names, I might remember their face, but that's about it. So the fact that you can look at somebody's profile, like not even like their actual name, but you can remember their profile and be able to associate a name and a place with that is amazing.
Yeah. I just, you know what? I always wanted to be different from how people view people in the spotlight, because a lot of times people in the spotlight can get a bad rep as being annoying, as being arrogant and pompous, and, not I don't want to say easily accessible, but you don't feel hands-on as much.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I wanted to be able to have conversations with my customers, with my fans, even when it gets to the point where my reach, the fan base grows to 30 million followers. I still want to be able to get on live and be like, oh shit, Cola and this, that what's happening, Cola? And I'll still be that guy. You know what I mean? It's just, it'll be on a bigger platform. I really don't think success changes, who you are at your core. Who you are at your core is who you are. I worked in the casino. I've seen people, that were big whales. You know what I mean? And I've seen people that were like $25, $5 players. You know what I mean? And it's assholes on both ends of the spectrum.
Right.
So you having money, just, I just think it intensifies, and success just intensifies the person who you are at your core. And so I've always been this way. You've seen me for damn near a decade. You know what I mean? This ain't like, I want to be, if I'm not in a good mood, I'm not talking, I'm not being happy. I don't, when you see me happy and I'm upbeat, that's because I'm happy and I'm upbeat. I make it that way. And I don't lean on somebody to say, how's my day going to be? Are you going to make my day? No, I'm going to look in the mirror and be like, hey, man, I'm talking to the man in the mirror. Hey, nigga, I'm asking you to. That's what I do. So that's what I start with.
Well, that's amazing because, again, other people, not so much. They allow one little thing to ruin their day. And, I'm subjected to that too. I know I'm a Gemini. It happens. The mood swings, You
got a birthday coming up?
My birthday just passed.
What day is your birthday?
May 31st.
31st, yeah. Gemini. That's why you and Jay Reed get along so well.
Yes, it was like a magnet. Like when I first I met him first, and he just kind of like came to me and was like, "You my girl, okay? You my homie, right. All right."
I remember when we all first met, and everybody just clicked, and then I saw everybody talking. I was like, "What they got in common? What is it?" Because you see two people giggling, like, "What the fuck is all the giggles about?"
It was just a vibe, man. It's just
because I vibe like that with Virgos.
Yeah. Aren't you you're a Virgo? You're Virgo, a Virgo.
Yep.
My mom's a Virgo too.
Oh, your mama's an amazing woman.
She absolutely is. Dr. Gunny absolutely is.
You said doctor?
Yeah, she's a doctor. Dr. Gunny. That's what I call her.
What kind of doctor is she?
She's a doctor of education.
I love it.
Yeah, she's a doctor of education. And she's a retired Marine. That's where the Gunny comes from.
You better represent I love it.
Yes, that's my queen right there. I love her all day. And she's the reason why I get along with most Virgos. So
yeah.
You're in my family just because of that. So we just lost a legend, Mr. Paul Mooney. Have you ever met him?
Yes. I met Paul Mooney at the Comedy Store. And actually, there was a picture posted online with us after, actually, the last time I performed at the Comedy Store, Bill Bellamy was hosting. And afterwards, he was like, hey, man, I want to introduce you to Paul, the legend. Let me introduce you to him. So he introduced me to him. And he said, hello, young man. Good job. Good job. But legend, man. He'll definitely be missed. His body of work has inspired, like myself, so many other comedians, and he'll truly be missed. I got a chance to perform with he's got some sons. He's got a pair of twins, the Mooney twins. Yeah, so that hopefully they'll be able to to continue his legacy.
Oh, okay, so they're in comedy too. Oh, I was unaware.
Oh yeah, there we go. I'm just dropping jewels on your show.
Yeah, you are.
I'm out here dropping jewels on your show. That's what I'm doing.
Always. So you haven't had any interesting interactions with them?
With the Mooney twins?
No, not the twins. Paul Mooney himself.
No. It was I've heard a lot of stories.
Yes.
I've heard a lot of stories about him. But luckily, when I called him, it wasn't one of those things where I'm being a new comic saying, hey, Mr. Mooney, big fan. It was one of those things where he kind of saw me on stage, and it kind of made the introduction a lot more smoother. So yeah, I've heard some stories, but mine happened to be, it was a neutral one.
That's awesome. I met him once actually when I was working in radio, and that was definitely a blessing to me. He was a very nice guy, and just very like regal, I would say. He carried himself very well. I loved it. So we mentioned that, you know, you used to be shy in all this. When you first came up on the stage, were you nervous in any kind of way, or did you just command the stage? Like, did you kill it? Did you bomb? What happened?
Cola.
And we said we
Let
were
me
going to
tell
keep
you
it
a
real here
phrase that
today.
we're gonna keep it all the way a buck. Now I'm gonna tell you a phrase in show business that I absolutely hate. I hate it for personal reasons. I hate hearing the first time we saw him on stage, we knew he was a star. Here's the deal. I'm just gonna give you a heads up. If anybody ever in life say that about D-Lay, you have permission to say, shut your damn mouth, you a lie. You can say that. My first time on stage was absolutely horrible. Horrible. Because I didn't know what I was doing. I was just going up because somebody said I was funny. I didn't know the skill set that it took. I just thought it was I didn't know. I really didn't know. And the host, man, he gave me the absolute best introduction that you could have asked for. I mean, I couldn't ask for a better introduction. Ladies and gentlemen, coming to the stage, you're going to enjoy this gentleman. He's a future star. You probably seen him on BET. He has an upcoming appearance on HBO. He travels and tours all around the country, including colleges and universities. Ladies and gentlemen, please give it up. I'm looking around like, who in the hell is about to come out? Who did all this? Give it up for D-Lie. Give it up for D. He told my goddamn name up. Give it up for D-Lie. D-Lie. That was the first clue that something in this night was not going to go well. Because this man had laid out such an eloquent, I'm talking about an eloquent introduction. I already knew I couldn't follow none of this shit. All these credentials that he had listed for me, I'm like, I can't live up to none of this shit. There's people in the audience. Everybody in there knows me. You know why everybody knows me?
Why?
They all from my job at the boat. Everybody coming to see this shit. But everybody think I'm about to destroy. They thinking this is the birth of a new comedian. I had approximately 4 minutes. I think I had like 3 or 4 minutes they gave me to perform. And I didn't hear any like after he gave me the introduction and everybody clapped and I got on stage. I didn't hear another human's voice other than my own for the next 5 minutes. Wow. That's no laughter. Wow. They just looking at me. I'm way over my time. At the 7-minute mark, I heard a lady in the back chuckle. I said, that's my time. All right, good night. Thank you. I got off that stage and got out of the building.
So you were just sitting there for your one laugh so you can go.
I did not say laugh. I said that woman chuckle. Giggle. That's giggle. One chuckle. That's a giggle chuckle. It was a chuck giggle. It wasn't a full chuckle. It wasn't a full giggle. It was a chuck giggle. It was a chuckle and giggle. It was a chuck, one of those.
Yeah.
That's what that was. Wow. Yeah. So then I quickly learned, I'm like, okay, if I'm going to do this, I'm going to have to learn how to do this. And that's what, I always try to tell young comedians, it's an art, you know what I mean? It's a skill set. It is. It's like any trade that you take on. If you wanted to be a welder, you're going to have to learn the basics. And that's what comedy is. You have to learn the basics and you're going to have to do repetitions of going on stage and getting comfortable.
Right. So, but that's basically what you did, or did you like sit down and look at other people's, skits? Or... I
just took a hammer, got on stage, a hammer, and hit myself in the head every Monday. What? God damn. What? Just trial and error. What? Till finally I was like, hey man, that shit hurt. Who you talking to? You? Oh, we're doing this to ourselves? Yes, we're doing it to ourselves.
Wow.
And I had to learn, okay, cool. What are we doing? What am I talking about? Who am I talking to? Learn your audience. Have something to say to this audience. Don't be on stage wasting time. And I just started putting in repetitions and getting those reps up and getting that confidence up, because confidence is like 90% of the game.
So
And once
you
I
didn't
had
take
that,
any
it was time.
improv classes, improvisation classes, or anything like that? Just getting up on stage and being like Nike, just do it.
I've been blessed. I'm gonna be honest. I've just been blessed. Like, a lot of people like, man, what class did you take? Did you go to Second City? What was none of that?
Mm-hmm.
You didn't take Second City? No, I just went on stage and just tried out shit that I thought was funny. I was fearless. I didn't care if they didn't laugh. I was gonna say the shit anyway.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So that type of boldness resonates with an audience. And improv is you better be confident, because you don't know if this ain't been rehearsed. So you better be confident, and you better be said some slick shit before. And this, and with the again, repetition, I got better and better and better. And that's like, I want to continue to master it. I don't want to be like, yep, got it. I want to continue to master it and to keep elevating and keep evolving with it.
Well, everything that you've done works. Everything that you've done works. Because I tell you, like, I've been to several of your shows, several of them. And I mean, tears, there's people crying. Some people leave because they have to catch their breath and then come back. Like, that's how serious it is. So yeah, everything that you've done works. We appreciate that.
Thank you, Cola. Thank you.
You're very welcome, my dear. So you wrote a book, Mr. Author. What is your book? Yes, show them, pan over to that, The Journey Behind the Smile.
Bam, there it is. The Journey Behind the Smile. Yes, my first book took me about the whole process. Probably was about 2.5 years for the whole process. And my co-author, Angela Artist, who's also one of my business partners, she had already known who I was prior to meeting her, and she was like, have you ever thought about writing a book? And I was like, yeah, we should do right. We should write a book. And she was like, yeah, when do you want to start? I'm like, tomorrow. I said, tomorrow? I was, yeah, tomorrow. I was like, okay. I was thinking like next week. I was thinking tomorrow. So, she was like, oh, are you eager? You like to get, I was like, yeah, I'm, I don't like to talk about stuff. Let's do it. Mm-hmm. And we got together, and it was a emotional book for me to write, because it's not your typical, book that a comedian writes. It's not your ha ha ha, happy ending, the end. No, it's a real life story. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? It talks about my struggles, my upbringing, me getting into comedy, me, growing up with the difficulties that I grew up with. It was just something that I wanted to put into a book and make it something masterful, and not the typical comedian's book. And I think we got it. I think we nailed it. Okay. I know we nailed it from the reviews, from the feedback that I've been getting from people that have read it. It's like they love it. You know what I mean? It's one of those books where you're like, damn, man, I had no idea. Yeah, all that. Yeah, did all that. Still doing
it. So I've heard, well, from what I've read, honestly, I haven't bought the book yet. I'm going to get it. I haven't bought the book yet, but just the little bit that I've read, your grandmother raised you.
Yes. And Emily Laird.
Do you think a lot of what, how do I want to put this? Your comedy.
Take your time.
Do you think a lot of the comedy comes from your upbringing and some of the things that you've gone through?
Absolutely. The honesty in my comedy comes from how I was reared with my grandmother. She was very honest. She was blunt. She was straight up. Mm-hmm. She wasn't cutting no corners. She just, would say some shit out loud. They'd be like, hey man, there's people in here. They can hear you. Mm-hmm. I walk out. It's a living room full of people. It's Saturday morning. It's like 11 o'clock in the morning. She got her friends over early in the morning, drinking coffee and shit, just bullshitting, watching the stories. They ain't doing shit. They don't work. Ain't doing shit. I come in there, she see me. Hey, did you piss in that bed? I'm like, okay, you know what? Oh shit!
Everybody know your business.
It's like they know I piss in the bed now. Thank you, I appreciate that. So that brutal honesty, of course, I've carried that into my comedy, and some people are gonna be, feel some type of way about it, but the majority of the people, they can appreciate that. If you can get past, the how it sounded, and look at the meat and the potatoes of what I'm saying, then you'll get over it.
Basically. I noticed like my grandmother, she's from Chicago, but like a lot of Chicagoans, they have that Southern
Yeah, they
upbringing
do.
kind of.
Yeah, they do.
And she was, so I was like 5, and one of her favorite words was shit, so I went to go and visit her one summer, and I came home and I wanted to go to McDonald's, and my mom and dad were like, no, we're not taking you to McDonald's. And I was like, shit, and they're like, we can't be mad. She's heard it all summer. Like,
how old were you?
5.
I don't know if I would have made it to 6.
Like,
I don't know if I would have had a 6th birthday.
Only because they knew where I got it from.
Gotcha. You got to respect it.
Right. After that, they were like, she can say that. You cannot,
You can't say that.
Yeah, I learned my lesson really quickly. I don't mess with Dr. Gunny, and I don't, my stepdad, he was also a Marine. Don't mess with him neither.
Right.
So I definitely understand about the whole saying whatever comes to mind.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
What is your idea of success?
My idea of success is being able to have the freedom to do whatever it is that you choose to do, you being liberated in your own sense. And it doesn't have anything to do with a dollar amount, more so about how much freedom do you have. Some people have freedom to just fuck off all day. That's success. It's equivalent to freedom. Some people have enough success where they can just kind of mess off for half the day. You know what I mean? Some people have this type of success. You know what? Hey man, once a week I can do some crazy shit once a week. So it's levels to success, and I define it by how much freedom you have.
Mm-hmm. Now, so with that said, would you consider yourself successful?
Extremely. Extremely.
Extremely.
Extreme. But then I have some more levels to go.
Right.
You can pass extreme. You can get away. You can keep going. Success. You can just keep going. It depends on how far you want to go. If you feel like, okay, I'm happy today. Tomorrow you can make yourself happy. You can get to another space. And then the following day you can be like, you know what? I want to really outdo this whole goddamn week. I want to go here with this.
Right.
And I'm not talking about going places. I'm talking about an internal resting in which you say, you know what? I feel good about this. Because that's where it starts. If you waiting on somebody else to say, stamp, cola, successful, then your ass will be miserable. Because nobody's going to stamp the success on you that you really deserve. And you got to claim that success.
Exactly. So what's your next level? Is it like owning a giraffe?
I wanted a zoo of giraffes. Not just I didn't want to start a giraffes. I wanted to have giraffes, hyenas, and lions, both males and females, all in the same habitat, and ain't nobody fighting because I said halt bitches. Now that is a level of success when I'm communicating with nature and I'm telling nature. You understand? I'm telling the animals, hey, this is what we're doing today. Right. Hey, zebras, bow y'all goddamn heads. We're gonna pray. Lions, put your manes down. We're praying. Hey, hyenas, everybody, relax on your bellies. Who is he? He's the successful one. Right. I'm calling the shots. Now, when I get to that level of success, when you see me acquiring wild animals, you understand? Orangutans and shit. You don't even know what to feed an orangutan. No. Apples and oranges and shit. You try to feed them a peanut butter and jelly. You don't know. Do your research before you buy an orangutan. Point is, when you see me buying exotic animals, I've reached that level of success, which like I'm untouchable at this point. He's buying orangutans.
What motivates you?
I got a lot of motivating factors. My beginnings motivate me. My lack of, the things that I didn't have, I'm motivated now to acquire them because I have a work ethic that says, you know what, if I want XYZ, I can do. My sons, because I want to show them, what it's like to go after something when you have an idea, when you have a vision. My family, I'm motivated I find inspiration in everything, everything, good or bad. If I see somebody, especially the good, if I see somebody that can attain something, I see somebody just got a $15 million mansion. I'm like, oh my gosh, like some people are intimidated by that. They hate on that.
Yeah.
They'll never have the work to get that. And that's where the hate comes from. The hate comes when somebody's like, I would never put in all that work to get a $15 million mansion. Then the hate. But somebody that's motivated to look at it and be like, okay, I know that took an extra, like the work that it took to get that, like, wow. And I'm looking at it like another human being did it. I can do it too.
Right.
I always find a rabbit to chase. You understand? I always find something that challenges me, that pushes me. And that's what keeps me going. If I don't have something to get out, I may get up, I'm like, I hate the way my body looked today. I'm motivated to fix this shit. You know what I mean? So I got a bunch of different factors that motivate me.
Well, speaking of chasing stuff, you have all this energy. Every time I see you, like you're all over the stage, you're all over like the club, whatever, you're all over the place. I have zero energy. Where do you get that from? Are you taking like pills?
I have zero energy.
Is there like an energy drink? Like, what are you doing?
I do take herbs. I take herbs, sea moss, elderberry, burdock. I take all those herbs. My sister has a company, an herb company, Love Your Body Alkaline and Herbs. And I just make sure that I put stuff in my body that, that can sustain me. I'm not saying I don't eat bad foods. I used to be vegan. Me and my sons were vegan, and we moved to pescatarian, and we're back to eating meat. I think it's just about a matter of, just doing everything in moderation. I'm not one of those people. You should be eating. You eat what the hell you want to eat, ma'am. Right. I don't give a shit as long as if you're able to maintain, you know what I mean, a healthy lifestyle, some type of way, and balance it out. By all means, do what you want to do. But I always try to put some vitamins, some herbs in my body, to keep me fueled, to keep me going. And I try to make sure that I eat right from time to time, for the most part.
Right.
And I think that's what fuels a lot of me. And a lot of when you see me on stage, when you see me on social media, is because I've had a lot of stuff in my body, a lot of good shit in my body. So I feel good.
That's good. Now, before you mentioned you used to be teased about your gap in your teeth. One of my grandmothers, she used to call it, because I actually used to have a gap when I was younger. I used to have a big gap in between my teeth, and then it closed in, so I never needed braces or anything like that. But she used to call it my personality.
Yep.
So whenever she was like, show me your personality. Anytime I was feeling down, show me your personality so you can cheese.
Yeah.
And smile. So I want to say that you have one of the biggest personalities I have ever met. And I'm very thankful to have met you and to met Mr. J. Reed and Bill Bellamy. You guys have brought so much joy into my life. Like every day I look at you guys' posts and your stories and, followed your career. And in following the career, like when I first met you, I didn't know who you were. But I swear it was like after I met you, all of a sudden I saw you everywhere, everywhere, like with all these skits and things like that. So I have no idea how you come up with all the content that you come up with, like how this just every day I'm seeing something new pop up. Right. Where do you get that from?
It's a gift. It is absolutely a gift. Because I have funny stuff and funny thoughts running through my head, constantly. And I try to find ways to taper it off. And the best way for me is just to execute the thoughts that's in my head. And I attribute that to it just being a gift from God. And I don't take it for granted. I appreciate it. I've honed it. and I love the way my gift makes people feel.
Mhm.
You know, so it's a treat for me as well.
And it's a wonderful treat, seriously. So if anybody isn't following D-Lay, something is wrong with you. You have to follow D-Lay. D-Lay, please give them your credentials, like all your socials.
I'm glad you asked. I didn't think you would ask me. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're trying to purchase the book, an autographed copy of the book, you can get it from itsdelay.com. That is my website. And all of my handles are the same. Twitter, it's Delay, ITSDLAI. Facebook, it's Delay. YouTube is Delay TV, DLAI TV. And my YouTube, I have a podcast that drops every Tuesday at 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. I drop an episode every Tuesday, and 4 or 5 days out of the week, I'm going live, talking my talk there. So I'm all over this net. You can't say, I don't know where to find you, because I got shit over on TikTok. I went over that community and started a whole bunch of shit over there in that community. I'm way too grown to be in TikTok. They want me over there. You. They want me to. No, I'm over there talking that grown talk. They're like, oh my gosh, I can't believe you talk to your sons like that. You goddamn right. Get your ass in sons, and you can practice. But it's for me and mine. Mm-hmm. So, like, as far as where my content lies, every platform you can find some Delay content. Whether if it's not me, it's somebody sharing my stuff.
Exactly, and you'll definitely see on my personal page, I post a lot of stuff.
Yes.
Because I absolutely adore you, and you know this. So thank you for coming on and chatting with me and hanging out. I know you're already comfortable. You got your do-rag on, you got your Versace.
This is what we're gonna do, Cola. Whenever I see you, we gotta do it in studio.
Okay.
However, I want you to do Delay After Dark in studio with me. Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Tell Dr. Gunny she don't want to tune in for that one.
I know that's right.
Yes.
Like you didn't hear any of this, Dr. Gunn. None of it.
Nope, Dr. Gunny never heard it. But thank you, and I'm looking forward to seeing you soon.
No, me too. Me too. Love you.
Love you, Queen.
Bye.